Have you ever been stuck with dirty water or no water? Kind of like this? Well, not today. In this video, I'll show you how to make a simple water filter with one of your empty water bottles, and then how to make a home-based water filtration system that will supply you with filtered water whenever you need it. There is a difference between water filtration and water purification. Water filtration removes sediments and microorganisms. Water purification removes microorganisms, viruses, chemicals, and more. The simple water bottle is something that you can put together using one of your empty water bottles and items found in nature to filter the water as much as possible. This technique is for survival purposes, and even after filtering the water several times, I would still recommend boiling the water before drinking it, if you can. First of all, cut one of your empty plastic bottles in half, then place the top half upside down into the bottom half of the bottle. Then push in a piece of material as the first layer of your filter. Cotton wool works very well if you have any in your first aid kit. The next layer should be sand, but I could only find fine river sand, so I decided to place in the charcoal layer as the sand was getting around the cotton wool. In a real survival situation, you will have to deal with challenges like this all the time. Getting charcoal is a bit more difficult, so you may need to make a small fire and burn some wood to get that. Charcoal is an important layer as it absorbs impurities from the water. Then next in was the fine river sand. My last layer was the gravel, which I tried to clean in the river as much as possible. Time for the first run through of our filter with a healthy dose of dirty river water. At first, just pour a little bit of water into the filter just to settle the layers. Once the layers have settled, you can pour in more water. For the first couple of filters, the water will still be murky. But after filter number 8 or 9, the water will start clearing up. Even though the water looks a lot clearer, I would still try and boil it before drinking. For the larger system I'll be showing you, you will need 3 food-grade buckets with lids, a 20mm tap, 8 20 to 12mm barbed reducing straights. This can be found at any garden irrigation shop, a 20mm hole saw for your drill, a saw or cutting grinder, plumber's tape, and a 12mm drill bit. We will use the same materials as for the water bottle, but just in larger quantities and separated more. Instead of having the gravel, sand and charcoal in one container, I'm going to have large gravel, then finer gravel and then sand in the top bucket, and I'm using activated charcoal in the middle bucket. Activated charcoal removes toxins from the water without stripping the water of salts and important minerals, so it's ideal for water filtration. So the first thing to do is to label your buckets. Then drill a 20mm hole needed for the tap in the bottom water bucket. Be sure to use a file or sharp knife to remove the burrs after drilling the hole. Then you can install the tap. Put some plumber's tape around the tap thread on the inside of the bucket before screwing on the securing bolt. Then with your saw or grinder, cut the 20mm section off the lip of the barbed reducing straight. At the bottom of the charcoal as well as the sand and stone buckets, mark and drill 4 evenly spaced 12mm holes. The same must be done on the charcoal and water bucket lids. You want the holes on the inside of the bucket to line up with the holes on the lid to the next bucket. Then push the 12mm barbed reducing straights through the bottom of the bucket and also through the next bucket's lid. Once you have all your buckets constructed, you need to stack them and do a water test before filling them with the filtering ingredients. If your water test is successful, you can add the filtering ingredients to your various buckets. Also be sure to wash all of the ingredients before putting them into the bucket. At the bottom of each filter bucket, I put some cheesecloth in place to prevent the finer sand and charcoal from slipping through to the water catchment bucket. And now for the final test using some groundwater. Not bad for a first filter. The water and filter will improve the more it's used though. For extra protection, you can boil the filtered water from your system for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can also use some chemical methods. Using iodine, you can add 5 drops to 1 liter. You can also use bleach. Bleach loses its potency between 6 and 12 months of storage, but you can add 2 to 3 drops of bleach to 1 liter of water. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of our next video.